Today we're gonna assemble these GkTech lock kits, RCA, whatever pieces to the S13, and there's an instruction video on YouTube how to assemble these to your car, but it shows, it's an old video I think, because it shows that you have like 2 of these. But basically now on you get only one, or yeah, one per side, and the other one's replaced with just a bolt and this kind of washer thing. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna assemble it. I've already done it to the other side, and now I'm gonna do it on this side. And yeah. So when you get to this point where you got the GkTech part connected to your lower control arm ball joint place, and the what's this called, the other one that steers your everything, you basically have to adjust this gap to be flush with the knuckle. So you do it from there on the lower side of this one. Before that, I don't recommend to tighten this one. Just get this. I've done it so that it's like 1 millimeter or 2 away from being completely flush, and then I just tighten it down with the nut from the top, and it closes the gap pretty much always. Just make sure that when you tighten this down, you also hold it down, hold it from the bottom, so it doesn't start to spin with the nut. So that's what we're gonna do next. So now that we've got the steering knuckle, the GkTech knuckle, in place and everything tightened down, we can connect it to our tie rod. And if you connect the tie rod to where it's supposed to go, like this, hold on, you notice that even with your steering wheel being correct, like exactly in the middle, your front tires were heading towards or forward. With the new parts, since it moves the whole package 30 millimeters outside, your new tie rod or your old tie rod is 30 millimeters or some too close to the body. So you have like this, a very bad angle for this. And the basic solution, the easy solution possibly, would be to adjust this normal S13 tie rod just outwards. But I'm a bit concerned that the thread here will not be quite as long as I want it to be. So the solution for this was to order new tie rods and new tie rod ends. And this is basically, this is from A31 Maxima. And compared to the original S13 tie rod and tie rod end, you can see how much longer it is. So even with this tie rod end completely bottomed out, it's still quite a lot longer than the original one from the other side. So also, you need to consider, if you decide to make it this way, that you need to take S14 tie rod ends with the M14 thread here, because in S13 it's only M12, and this is much thinner also than the Maxima, the longer one, so I think this will be a good upgrade also for the whole car. So next thing, we need to change this one to replace this one, and you can still use the original dust boot with this one also, that's a good thing. So let's change it up. Alright, now it's off, and as you might have noticed, it was a bit stuck. That's because I installed previously these washers to the tie rods, and as you place these washers, your pretty common is to use thread locker here, so that's why it was so stuck. But good trick was to put this 30mm wrench, hold it upwards, and then just from there just pull it with a rope as hard as you can to the other direction, and that just snapped it off, so that was good. On the other side, I also remember it was very like tight, so I had to place this in wherever I could put it, and then just with another jack, with another hydraulic jack like this, I just pressed the key upwards on the other side, because it's on the other direction naturally, and yeah, that's the way I cut it off. I got it off, and now I just take this washer from this one here. I just take this washer, a bit of a cleanup, put it to the new one, and then I gotta remove this tie rod end from the old tie rod, get the dust boot out, place it on this one, and then assemble these there. Righto, now we got the tie rod in place. It's there and ready for adjusting. Now it's completely adjusted by just rotating this and then tightened down from here, from the tie rod end. But now it's just loose left. Also, this one is not, the dust boot is not held in by anything but pressure, so I'm gonna zip tie it around, but that's nothing fancy. And then always as I jack up my car, I also have the stand there to support it also. So I'll always keep a small pressure on my jack stand, or the jack, and then I have the stand under the car also, just to keep it in place. I don't wanna be left below under this one when it crashes down. So that's it for. I just want to mention also that when I place the GK knuckles or the RCA kit on this car, it brings out the whole steering package outwards 30mm, and that's why it also adds camber to your front wheels. And when it does that, I took some camber out from here, so it moves the whole thing outwards more. And now we can put the tire in place and see how it looks. So yeah, like you can pretty much guess, it looks very aggressive. So brings out the whole tire in the front out so much. Now it steers much more. But I also have to adjust all the caster arms and everything from this car. So that's another story. But that was just about changing the GkTech knuckles on an S13. Now to another concern, because I have the Circuit Sports adjustable lower control arm and the traction control arm. Those have a special kind of bolt, I mean a nut underneath as the lower nut that keeps the ball joint in place, and it looks like this. And you cannot get these from anywhere. So, and I'm missing one. I don't know how I've missed one. Did I ever get it when I got the set, or have I just lost it? I can't remember losing anything or throwing out. I seem to remember only having one of these, so I think I need to make another one. And since I'm gonna make one, I might as well make two. So this is an M18 times 1x5, a metric thread, a nut made specially. So this is not a standard nut size, because here's a standard M18 nut and it's much bigger than the one with the Circuit Sports thingy. So what I'm gonna do is, because this is you cannot make this from one nut, I'm gonna make it from two. So I'm gonna join these two nuts together. I'm gonna weld these together and then take it to a lathe and turn it so that it has this chamfer or this crown, because it doesn't have a thread in it. It's just a 19mm hole. So that's a pretty special part I need to make. And I'm gonna make two of these. So just connect these two with a TIG welder, take it to a lathe, and then turn this upper side to match these proportions, and then make these slots. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next. Now, one thing I want to show you guys as I'm starting to weld is this. I have my MIG welder here and then the TIG, but I have the same gas bottle, the shielding gas for it. This is 100% argon, and when I want to switch the gas bottle from one welder to another, what I have is this pretty good system for the gas inline is a quick connector. So when I just hook it up like that, I mean take it off, I can connect the TIG to the gas bottle like so, open the gas, hit my TIG welder on, and then start the weld. So pretty handy. Okay, we got the nut TIG welded. I took some of the zinc coating of these nuts out before I started to weld, but it seems like I should have taken all of it out, since this white stuff on these nuts now it's burned zinc, and that's not good for you. But it can create a temporary fever if you breathe in that much. But I didn't breathe it in really that much, so I think I'll be fine. But since now we have our lock nut and basic nut welded together, all the plastic burnt off from the inside of the lock nut, Now I'm gonna take it to the sandblasting cabinet, blow it completely clear, and then check if I need to make any adjustments or corrections to the welds or grind it or anything. Then take it to a lathe and finish it, and then make those groove slots also that were in the other nut. Right. So after sandblasting, or actually it's aluminum oxide that I'm using for blasting. After blasting the part, it looks like a solid nut. Yeah. Very clean, very good. So there we have it. It's been turned, drilled halfway through, just like on the another model. And then it's got this chamfer here. So basically these two are pretty much the same, but this one's just a bit bigger. And I think bigger is better in this case, since it's gonna cramp up the whole ball joint. And now I'm gonna make another one of these, possibly grind these weld marks off or flush with the hexagon form. But anyway, yeah, it's working out good. Let's make another one. There we go. Now we have two of those, and we can leave this one for spare. It's a model naturally for both of these, but these will work fine, and this will work as a spare if I ever need one in the future for making more. So that's good. Now we can put it on and never worry about it again. There we have it. Three almost identical pieces. So this is the original one, and these are the new ones. Yeah. So now let's just jack up the car and change these pieces on so that we can see the final solution that these parts actually work. And there it is. So that's a good point where to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you want to see some more DIY content about Nissans, Toyotas, and all sorts of stuff. So thank you and have a nice day.